I work for the EU4Culture project. I represent the regional team of the EU4Culture project. And today we are going to have the information session on the call for proposals that was announced by our project for cultural and cross-innovation projects. I would like to briefly tell you about the agenda of today's information session. First of all, we will have the introduction by the project head, Dr. Anatoly Bayfert. Then I will continue with a very brief presentation about the EU4Culture project itself. And then our colleague, Rusudan Ebralidze, the grants manager for the EU4Culture project, will present in detail the call for proposal and the application process. After this, we will have the question and answer session. Some technical details about the question and answer session. First of all, you can ask the questions by raising your hand, but at the same time, you can ask the questions in the question and answer tool, which you can see on your Zoom. So in case I will not manage to answer all the questions today, all these questions will be collected. And then next week, they will be published on GEP portal and on EU Neighbors East website. So thank you very much. And I would give the floor to Anatoly Bayfert, our project head. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, very much. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm very delighted to see such an enthusiastic and diverse group, which is gathered here today for this information session on our grant program in the framework of cultural and cross-innovation projects. My name is Anatoly Bayfert. I'm the head of the project. And today I have the privilege, together with our project team, to host you for this information session. Well, first and foremost, I want to extend my gratitude again, as Anna said, to each one of you for taking the time, interest, knowing how busy your schedule is to be the part of our info session today. So it is a truly inspiring commitment to exploring the opportunities, to extend our horizon, to learn each other, to exchange experiences. As you know, in the framework of EU4Culture, a competition between regional cities in 5 countries of the Eastern Partnership has started approximately 2 years ago. And within this competition, our project selected 14 cities, which prepared and created cultural development strategies. In every country, we selected 1 finalist city, which receives the support, financial support from the EU4Culture project to implement this strategy. However, we shouldn't forget about other cities who prepared competitive and qualitative strategies as well. And one of our ideas within this call for proposals to support all these cities as well. Well, I would like to wish you success, fair competition, and remember that this information session is just the beginning of your journey towards unlocking vast potential of the EU grant program, so within EU4Culture project, to share new ideas, to inspire your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends, and to achieve fruitful results. So thank you very much again, and I wish you a productive discussion and meeting today. So back to you, Anna.
Thank you very much, Anatoly. Thank you for the introduction. Dear participants, now I would like to share with you a very small presentation regarding the EU4Culture project itself, because some of you may not be familiar with our project. Some of you already know the project pretty well, I'm sure. So first of all, what I would like to say that our project is the EU-funded project, and it supports culture and creative sector in Eastern Partnership countries. We make the special focus on non-capital cities, and our aim is to enhance the role of culture as a driver for economic development, also to promote intercultural dialogue and regional cooperation. and to contribute to improve local governance through enhancing the participative dialogue between public and private stakeholders. What does the project actually do? So first of all, as Anatoly already mentioned, one of the key activities of the project is the support to the non-capital cities in 5 Eastern Partnership projects to develop and then to implement the cultural development strategies. As it was mentioned, through the competitive process, 14 cities in Armenia, in Azerbaijan, Georgia, Republic of Moldova, and Ukraine have been selected and received the grant to prepare cultural development strategies. After this, at the second phase, already 1 city in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Republic of Moldova was selected to receive the grant for implementation of the strategy. But at the same time, we continue cooperation with all the 14 cities. In Ukraine, the grants have been, due to the situation, repurposed, and the cities received equally, the grant was distributed between the cities. To name the cities, these are in Armenia, Charentsavan, Ijevan, and Sevan. In this case, all 3 cities prepared the strategies, and Ijevan also received the grant for the strategy implementation. In Azerbaijan, we have Hirdalan, Lankaran that received the grant for the strategy implementation, and Cheki. In Georgia, we have Kutaisi, Poti, and Zugdidi was the one who received the grant for the strategy implementation. In the Republic of Moldova, we have Cahul and Orhei, and Cahul currently is implementing the strategy with the EU4Culture Fund. In Ukraine, the cities that prepared the strategic documents and are part of the EU4Culture Network are Rivne and Vinnytsia. I would like you to pay attention to this map, actually, that you see, because all these 14 cities fall under geographical scope of the call for cultural and cross-innovation projects, actually the call on which we are going to speak today altogether. What are other activities of our project? First of all, we do support these non-capital cities that we have mentioned with the capacity building. At the same time, we also enhance and facilitate the regional cooperation through operation and activation of the regional network of the cities. Finally, we support individual artists and cultural professionals to increase their international profiles and gain international experiences through the mobility call. We already had 3 mobility calls, and we have up to 250 beneficiaries at the moment. Also, during the mobility calls, we have the special focus on the applicants from non-capital cities. And finally, the cultural development strategies that were prepared by the cities, by all 14 cities, have to be complemented by the smaller scale grants on cultural and cross-innovation projects. The call has been announced, and now I would pass the floor to our grants manager, Rusudan Ebralidze, who will present to you in detail the information both about the call and about the application process. Rusudan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anna. So I hope you see my presentation. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all of you, and I hope that this information session will meet your expectations and leave you inspired to submit very interesting projects on the national and also on the international level. So today I will deliver, as mentioned, the comprehensive information. So I can't, of course, not cover all the topics which are described in the application guidelines, but I will present to you the main aspects about the eligibility, about the available budget, about the types of the projects, etc., etc. I will very shortly repeat that we are, with this call for proposals, we are targeting the non-capital cities from Eastern Partnership countries, and the actions which will be planned and which will be submitted for this call for proposal should be implemented in these cities. Let me highlight very shortly the overall objective of this call for proposals is to stimulate the creative and cultural ecosystem in these non-capital cities. And it has also many different specific objectives. For example, support the sustainability of the cultural development strategies of non-capital cities, to somehow some of the activities foreseen in the strategy to be implemented in the cities. Promote a participatory approach, public-private dialogue, and increase the involvement of different sectors. We're not talking here only about the culture, but we are talking also about different sectors, and we want to encourage also the cooperation between these sectors. Encourage the innovation. And promote cultural and creative industries with all the including parts, including sectors. And I will have a one slide about the sectors which are eligible in this call for proposals, and promote intercultural cooperation and dialogue between the cities and between these countries. We have two types of projects, which are cultural and cross-innovation projects, which are in the framework of this call for proposals eligible. So you can understand, of course, that many different activities can be foreseen and understood under cultural projects and cross-innovation projects. We, for now, we can't, of course, give you the ready and exact answer which projects we are expecting, but we have drafted the short description of the similar project which has been implemented already in the framework of other projects. For when we're talking about the cultural projects, these are these artistic developments, production and presentation, as well as other formats of cultural and creative projects which promote local traditional traditions and resources. It might be crafts, of course, it might be cultural heritage, and reflect current social debates through culture, create spaces and exchanges. When we are talking about the cross-innovation projects, here we mostly understand that of course, the innovative component of the project, but we encourage and we understood under the cross-innovation projects, the implementation of the projects, which are the mix of the several sectors, and it must not be only culture. For example, the cooperational projects between the sectors of tourism and CCI sectors, which is cultural and creative sectors. For cultural projects, it can be exhibition, theater, music events, festivals, but please keep in mind that we as a project and also the stakeholders involved in the project are expecting to have these activities sustainable approach, and it's not one time happening, like one-time event or not one-time festival. Under cultural projects, we understand also creating an online format to host discussions, exchanges, or conversations on cultural topics, developing cultural applications, etc., etc. Under the cross-innovation projects, actions improving the connectivity between CCI professionals and organizations from different sectors. And yes, I mentioned it already in the few minutes ago about the cross-innovation projects, which is mainly understood under this type of projects. This is the indicative and non-exhaustive list of cultural and creative sectors, which covers mostly all sectors, starting from architecture, crafts, which is textile, ceramics, wood, metal, glass, so different arts of crafts, visual arts like painting, sculpture, photography, new media, etc., etc. Film and video, cinema, movies, video and TV productions, cultural heritage, promotion of heritage-based and cultural tourism and museum activities, archives, libraries, literature and publishing, magazines, production of books, translations, production of e-books, for example, design and fashion. This is related to interior design. This is the fashion design, graphic design, etc., etc. Gastronomy, and gastronomy is one of the important sectors our beloved non-capital cities are working with. And of course, this is also falls under our list, gastronomy and culinary, cooking education, organic and local and innovative startups in this field, like supporting these kind of startups. Performing arts, theater, dance, ballet, opera, music, digital technology industry, and arts and cultural education, like cultural hubs. So you can find more examples and more sectors in the project guidelines. So because there is described everything in details. For now, I would like to highlight the maybe for you the most important part of this call for proposals, who can actually participate and which of the applicants are eligible for this call for proposals. In order to be eligible, the lead applicant is actually the organization, legal entity who submits the project proposal and is responsible for the implementation, for the content related and also for the financial related things, and is responsible towards the project to report, to give the updates, etc., etc. So in terms to be the lead applicant, the applicant must be legal entity, public or private bodies. I want to highlight here already that under private bodies, we actually understand the organizations which are working for non-profit organizations. The lead applicant must be registered in one of the eligible countries, and these countries are Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Republic of Moldova, and Ukraine. Another criteria, and this criteria are foreseen together to meet this criteria all together, to have a legal record of operational activities in one of the EU4Culture Cities Network, and have a legal operational activities for at least 2 years on the date of the deadline for the submission of the proposal. Be a non-profit organization. This is one of the main criteria and most important criteria. And of course, they represent the culture and creative sectors in one of the EU4Culture network cities. So lead applicant can act independently. So the lead applicant can submit the project alone, let's say, but lead applicant can also submit the project proposals with co-applicant. Co-applicants must actually satisfy the same eligibility criteria, except the criteria number 3, which is the co-applicant organization may have also the operational activities outside the EU4Culture Cities Network. So the co-applicants might be also from the capitals, for example, or from other cities outside of EU4Culture Cities Network. Lead and co-applicants, they are, in some cases, it might be like independent project proposal, but in some cases with the co-applicant, it's totally up to you to decide how you're going and how you feel free and comfortable to submit the project proposal. There is also another type of the eligibility, because we are working with the different cities from Eastern Partnership countries, and we encourage the cooperation between the cities, not only on the international level, but also on the national level in the countries itself. There is also the option to submit the call for proposal in consortium composition. Consortium-based proposal must foresee implementation of activities in more than one city from EU4Culture Cities Network. Consortium-based proposal may have at least 2 and maximum 5 partners. So if you are deciding to submit the project proposal with another representative of another country or city, then you have to be together at least 2, or maximum, you have to have maximum 4 partners, maximum five partners, including the main applicant. Yes, consortium members must satisfy the same eligibility criteria, both for lead and co-applicant, and as described in the previous slide. And in case of consortium-based proposal, the applicant must provide the mandate to act on behalf of involved consortium members. So in this case, also the main applicant is submitting the project proposal, but it has to provide also the document where it will be stated that the other organizations from other countries or cities are ready to be the members of the consortium. So these are the 3 options to participate in the project. I would like to highlight now the 2 not exceptions, but specific cases that the natural persons are not eligible for this call for proposals. Natural persons with no juridical or legal status is meant under this, and also CDS cultural development strategy lead applicants who prepared the strategies. It's the same for lead applicant, for co-applicant. These applicants from the previous activities are not eligible for this call for proposals. So these are the exclusion criteria for 2 types of the applicants. Yes, there is also another eligibility criteria, which is connected with geographical area and also duration. The activities should be implemented in EU4Culture Cities Network in either separately or in partnership in different locations. The activities must take place in an area of at least one EU4Culture Cities Network. So here we have also another information we want to share with you. We consider that there might be the cases where these activities can't be implemented in the participating cities, and in duly justified cases, the activities may take place in other locations other than EU4Culture Cities Network or Eastern Partnership countries. But it should be well justified, and also it will be on this. It will be decided on case by case basis. The duration and the period, it has also some limitations. The project implementation must be last, the maximum of the months of the implementation is 10 months, starting from October 2023, and the end, the latest time of end of these activities must be July 2024. Here, I would like to mention one important thing again, that considering that the summer is very active with the festivals, with cultural events, and August is not exclusion, we might consider also the project activities scheduled for August. But again, this is the exclusion criteria, and this must be also decided by case basis when we see the project proposals, and if the corresponding experts will recommend the projects for funding. Now we are going to the next part, which is also very important, which are the size of grants and budget. The applicant can apply independently or in consortium, as I mentioned in the previous slides. Or this consortium is understood to submit the project proposals on the international level. Following scheme applies for the proposal suggested in a consortium, either or national or regional level. So actually, we are speaking about two types of projects, which are cultural and cross-innovation projects, but also two types of size grants and budgets. The projects who are submitted independently from lead applicant or with co-applicants, or in partnership consortium on national level. Here I am meaning the national level consortium on national level, the partnership between the cities in the country. For example, 3 or 2 cities from Georgia or 2 or 3 cities from Ukraine. So the category 1 for these available funds for this activity under small scale projects, the maximum available budget is €5,000. And for medium scale projects for this category, the maximum available budget is €15,000. The next part of the size of grants and budget, which is related to the consortium-based proposals, offers for small case projects the available budget of a maximum €8,000, and for category 2, which is medium scale projects, the maximum available budget of €25,000. Selection criteria. So we have different selection criteria. The supporting questions about to each criterion you can find in the application guidelines. I will just highlight the headings of the selection criteria. The first is the relevance and impact. How relevant is the proposed project and the activities of this call? How is the proposal linked to the CDS, city CDS? Are the needs and constraints well defined, etc., etc. The next criteria is the design of the action implementation approach and feasibility. How clear and realistic is the suggested project plan? Does the proposed action involve an appropriate complementary mix of participating organizations, if any, of course? The project team members, how well experienced are they? And in the application form, online application form, you can find also the section where you have to provide the information about your project team. Budget and cost effectiveness of the action. You have to submit the separate annex, which is the budget, and the finances and budget related things will be assessed with the following sub questions. Does the proposed action create long-term change, or is the proposal budget creditable and realistic? Are the proposed activities appropriately reflected in the budget? Well, one thing is that you are describing the activities in the narrative part, but all these should be also reflected in the budget form. Promotion of horizontal issues and principles. Does the proposal amped awareness on topics as a gender equality, environmental sustainability, multi-ethnic and multi-ethnicity, and in the application form, you can also find the sections where you have to provide components foreseen for your project, which are targeting the promotion of horizontal principles. The sustainability is whether your proposed activity or project is only one time, or it has also the long-term perspective, and if it's also well defined in the project proposal, innovation and creative approach. And we have also additional criteria. As I mentioned, for us, it is very important to encourage the national or international based project proposals in partnerships. And we have the additional criteria for proposals submitted in consortium. On the international level, I'm meaning the project proposals which are submitted from the different countries, at least 2 countries, will receive 10 points additionally. And the project proposals which are submitted in partnership, but only on the national level, will receive 5 points additionally to the final scores of the selection criteria. Mainly the selection of the projects is made by the evaluation committee, composed by independent outside experts, which are assessing and will assess all the eligible applications. But before that, the proposals will be first checked for formal requirements for admissibility and eligibility, whether all the criteria for technical assessments are done. It will be done by EU4Culture team. And after that, after the project proposals pass to the technical eligibility check, the applicants will be forwarded to external independent experts. Proposals found admissible and eligible will be evaluated against the award criteria you are seeing now on the slide, and then ranked according to their scores. But let me highlight the important thing which are related to the selection criteria. I mentioned relevance, impact, and different selection criteria, but each criterion has its same threshold. You see the scores, maximum scores you can receive for your project, but at least you have to receive for each criteria these points. But the overall pass scores is from 100 points, 55 points, which is very kind of doable, I think. So about the selection criteria, another important thing is the costs which are reflected in the budget. And let me highlight the eligible cost, which can be asked and sent within the project proposals. The eligible costs of a project are costs that are relevant to the grant purpose and are necessary for implementation of the project, are actually incurred by the beneficiary, are incurred during the implementation period of the project, are explicitly stated in the budget, which you are submitting together with the application form, meet the requirements of the applicable tax and social security provisions, and are appropriate and justified, as well as in line with the principle of sound financial management, especially regarding economy and efficiency. This is the list for eligible costs. The staff costs, which should not represent more than 60% of the total budget. Travel costs except taxi rides, cost of services, external expertise, especially digital services, translation services, design services, production costs, etc. Purchase costs for materials, it can be also digital, equipment and accessories, new or used, which are specifically used and intended to be used only for the project. Administration costs like office rental, rent of space, equipment for relevant events, consumables, materials, etc., which are also directly related to the project, and indirect costs with a maximum percentage of 5%. These are the eligible costs. Let me highlight also the costs which are not eligible. These are costs related covered by other sources or funding for the same actions, because the double funding is not allowed for this call for proposals. Debts and debt service charges, provisions for losses, purchase of land or property, foreign currency exchange losses, credits to the third parties, performance-related bonuses that are included in costs of staff, costs of preparation of the grant application can be covered under the call for proposal, and project-related costs that occurred before the start or after the end of implementation period of the project. We have launched this call for proposals on 17th of April, and today we are having the info session. We're meeting with you, delivering the important information to you, and we are expecting the call for proposal, the suggested activities, suggested projects until 25th of July. The deadline is exactly this date. It's 6 o'clock Central European time, and please pay attention to these facts very carefully, because the system closes the application form and submission opportunity after this time. So please think about your time zones and convert the time. So this time is suggested and stated in Central European time. And in the implementation period for the project activities starting from October until maximum July 2024, except some exceptional cases. So as you see, the August and September, these 2 months are foreseen for first of all, for the selection by jury experts, independent jury experts, and for the administrational part, of course, for preparation of the grant contracts and for transferring the money, which all the details about the transferring and reporting, which will be reflected already in the grant contract with you. Now another part comes, which is the technical guide, how to apply on GAP. Why GAP? Because on GAP application portal, the available application form is accessible. In order to see the application form, if you are not registered on the GAP application portal, you have to register first. But if you have already existing username and password, you just can log in, and then you will be redirected to the opportunities webpage. And in this opportunities section, EU4Culture is one of the project who offers to you the submission of the projects. Don't forget, and please keep in mind to, if you are not registered, to register as an organization, because the organizations are eligible under this call for proposals. And once you have signed in and logged in the GAP application portal, you will see the EU4Culture section, and also the select funding type. And exactly this title for this call for proposals is the project we are talking now about. So this is the interface you will see, and this is the menu of the application form, and you have to just follow. The good thing is that if you start the filling out the application form, the system automatically saves this information for you, so you can work on like different times, not all things together. But to ensure that all the information is saved and all the information and texts are saved in the application form. Don't forget to to click on save. So the save button ensures the accessibility of the information when you will sign in the application portal again. In terms to submit the application form, these boxes should all be ticked. If it is not so, you can't submit the application form. And these are the most common mistakes the applicants are facing. And we wanted to show you and warn you in advance that these kind of things needs to be considered while filling out the application form. Speaking about the partnership and the importance of having the community within the countries, we are welcoming you to the EU4Culture community, and this QR code will redirect you to the Facebook group, which offers to you and shows you the opportunities, available opportunities under EU4Culture project. The purpose of this Facebook group is to bring together artists and cultural professionals from these countries who are interested in EU4Culture opportunities or have already benefited from the project. Please scan the QR code and join us in the Facebook group. And if you are facing and if you're interested in the following questions, like do you want to have tips to successful applications, or if you are searching for the partners from other countries, we really hope that this platform will be very useful for you. And yeah, looking for very much forward to see you there. And yeah, with this slide, I have finished my presentation. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry if I was very long, but you know, this information should be delivered. And thank you very much. And I look forward to receive very interesting applications from you.
Thank you very much, dear Sudan. Indeed, the presentation was very comprehensive. In the meantime, we were receiving questions in the question and answer box. We tried to answer some of them, but mainly most of the potential applicants are asking questions about the eligibility. This was already covered during your presentation, Sudan, but I will also repeat that organizations, legal entities should be non-profit, and they should be registered in one of the Eastern Partnership eligible countries as for the registration. We may have lead and co-applicant. In this case, there is the requirement that the lead applicant has, in a way, the history of operational activities in one of the 3 selected cities, in case of Moldova, 2 selected cities. But the co-applicant also can apply together with the lead applicant, and in this case, co-applicant is not required to have this record of operational activities specifically in one of these cities. So I hope this answers the question we have been receiving from most of our attendees. Another question was whether they can implement activities under the project outside these 3 cities. And the answer would be that in case these activities, the project mirrors and is linked and is complementary to the strategies of these 3 cities, in exceptional cases, if it is duly justified, we can consider also other location for the implementation in case it is duly justified. Now I would yes, I would also like to add that from some of the participants, we have seen that in question and answer session, they were giving their contact details for future collaboration. So I want to announce that after this question and answer session ends, we will run a poll. Participation in this poll, or survey rather, is voluntary, so you may choose to participate or not. But if you want to share your contacts in order to find partners for future cooperations, to share your sphere of activity, please fill in this poll, and then these contact details will be shared with those who will also complete the form. So thank you very much. And now I would open the question and answer session. Please raise your hand, and by raising your hand, we will give you the floor and you can ask your questions. I see the hand of Nulifer Musayeva, and I apologize if any of the surnames or names will be pronounced not properly by me. Please, Nulifer.
Hi, could you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for the presentation. It was very comprehensive. I just had a question about the key cities. Actually, I have a little bit, maybe several questions. I hope that's fine with you, because initially I'm residing in Germany and I have a collaboration with a local indigenous community from where I originate in the mountainous area of Azerbaijan. And at the same time, I can imagine myself also getting in touch with some of the key cities that were chosen by the EU4Culture. However, my problem is that this community is not really, how to say, internet friendly, let's say it like this. And that's actually the main cause of my project, to kind of digitalize some of the aspects of their life and the findings at the area. So therefore, I was wondering whether I could apply for this grant as a non-resident in collaboration with them, or should I actually like represent this museum and apply as a museum, even though it would be me who would be filling out all the forms, because they can't do this just basically physically, you know. That's the point of the whole grant that I'm trying to receive, that I'm trying to enhance the community and kind of get it out in the public sphere. And yeah, I hope you understood the question, but yeah, and I hope it somehow works, and otherwise maybe you have some other hint how I can proceed with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would direct this question to Rusudan, probably.
Hello, dear Nilofer. Thank you for your question. So thank you very much that you carefully listened to the presentation. But we have like the certain and different criteria for the projects. The first and important criteria is that the lead applicant should be registered in one of the countries of the Eastern Partnership. And it should be the activity should be also from this organization should be also implemented in the cities of EU4Culture Cities Network. So the cities actually are from Azerbaijan, Khirdalan, Lenkeran, and Cheki.
Yes. May I just quickly add? Is that fine? Yeah, I can imagine making an exhibition in one of the cities. However, the research would be held in this local community that is not even a city, but a village. And the local community has a museum that is registered in the village that is a part of the country of Azerbaijan.
If this another criteria is also that the project idea and proposal should to this strategy.
I'm So I think we're back.
Yes.
We really apologize. So yes, technical issues happen. We had the problem with internet connection, but now we're back. So we can continue our discussion. Rusudan, you were mentioning about the eligibility and the geographical scope actually of the projects.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for this technical issue. I don't remember when I was stopped, but dear Nilofer, if you find within your project proposal the linkage to one of the city's cultural development strategy, and you will meet all the eligibility criteria defined in the application guidelines, then of course you can submit the application form and your project idea.
Thank you so much. Yes, and as I said, I think you mentioned two different informations, or maybe I misinterpreted. Like the person, like there is the initial collaboration, right? And the first is an institution, non-profit institution based in one of the countries, and the second could be international. But I remember there was I remember that there was like a little thing that was saying like natural humans are not eligible to do this. But I am myself as an artist, I don't really have a studio, but it won't work, right? Or how exactly would
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you again. So yes, in fact, natural persons are not eligible to apply. It has to be a legal entity, an organization, and it has to be non-profit making.
Yes.
So yes, this would be an answer to your question. Thank you very much. I see, Anatoly, you also wanted to add something to this point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, Nilofer, for your questions, as well as all the other participants who maybe posted already the questions in the written form in our chat box. As far as I can see, or as far as I made a screening, many questions, they refer indeed to the eligibility of the partners, so that the organizations are eligible to participate in this call. Indeed, as Rusudan and Anna mentioned, within EU4Culture, we have certain constraints which strictly regulate geographical scope and the natural form of institutions who could apply for cultural and cross-innovation projects within EU4Culture. However, we should generally differentiate between geographical eligibility and content-related eligibility. So talking about the geographical eligibility, I can only repeat what Rusudan told. So it's the, we are talking about the institutions or organizations. We're not talking about individuals. So the next criteria is that we are expecting to receive the applications from non-profit organizations, so which means the nature of your operational activity is very important. For-profit organizations, they may cooperate as I'd say zero budget partners or whatever, like a supplementary or affiliated entities, but the main role of your project should be fulfilled by non-profit organizations. However, please keep in mind, I mean, of course, I'm absolutely sure that you have brilliant ideas and good initiatives you want to implement. However, please keep in mind that EU4Culture project started 2 years ago, and the scope of EU4Culture, it's to enhance regional development. So which means we started to work with the regional cities. Our journey started maybe from May 21, and through this open competition, we were able to select already some regional cities. And these cities, they prepared cultural strategy. One of the content-related eligibility criteria is that your ideas, what you have in mind, they should be linked or supplementary to the strategies that were already prepared by the cities. What I'm trying to say is that it would be incorrect if your project idea would be like an isolated island, which might act totally independent and without any linkage or reference to the already developed strategy. One of the ambitious goals of EU4Culture is to enhance participatory dialogue, and the strategies that have been prepared by the cities, they were done not only by politicians, but in a direct dialogue with representatives of cultural and creative communities from the cities. And we highly motivate and animate all the potential applicants. So having fulfilled the technical eligibility and geographical eligibility, from the content point of view, to link the thematic scope of your future projects to already existing strategies. The strategies are basically available, they are public, and in some cities, they have been recognized by the municipality law. So summarizing my statement, we have two types of eligibility: technical eligibility. So we are talking about legal entities, non-profit organizations, and registered in the countries. And then very important eligibility, it's a content-related eligibility, meaning the topic or the thematic area of your future project should be linked to the already existing strategies of the cities. Thank you, and back to you, Anna.
Thank you very much, Anatoly, for this clarification. I think it's very important for everyone. I would like to say that in parallel, during our session, the poll where you voluntarily can exchange your contacts is already running, so you can complete it. If you wish to exchange your contact details and your sphere of activities with other participants of this info session. I see some other questions, so I would like to give the floor to Zarif Bagirova. Please, Zarif, floor is yours. You can ask your question. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Yes. Hi, my name is Zarif, and I am actually a recipient of a mobility grant of EU4Culture, but unfortunately, it was not. I have a problem with. It was not registered in our Ministry of Justice. It's a quite a long process, and I'm still waiting for an answer. So that's why. So I have another question here. I work for the NGO, but NGO is located in Baku, in capital, but we cooperate closely with one social business in Lankaran city. So there's an idea of making one interesting project. Is it possible to apply in this way? They are social business, LTD, but we are NGO based in Baku.
Thank you, Zarif. As long as you have the record of operational activities in one of the three cities, in Lankaran, in Hirdalan, or in Sheki, so you have experience of working in the cities and implementing some activities there, as long as the organization is non-profit, and as long as it is registered in Azerbaijan, yes, you can apply. Thank you. Now I see some other questions. I see Vukar Abbasov has the hand, please. Vukar.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? My name is Vukar Abbasov. I represent the regional department of Sheki tourism department. So, as you know, that's one of the cities of this program. Sheki has tons of craftsmen, individual, most of them, majority of them working individually. But is it possible for them apply? I think it will not be possible to apply as an individual because they're natural persons. So how can we promote them? How can make them that they also utilize this grant mechanisms? Do you have any such proposals, or should they cooperate with the NGOs, with LTDs from Baku, Do you have any proposals?
Thank you very much, Ukar. I believe they are considered to be one of the main target groups, and I believe crafts is one of the strategic directions for the city. Yes, individual persons may not apply. Individual persons in general under the EU4Culture project are very much encouraged to increase their international profile and participate in the mobility projects. But I believe the craftsmen would be in this case, can be in this case, the target group of the projects. Thank you. Rusudan, Anatoly, would you like to add anything?
Yeah,
No.
thank you, Anna. Thank you, Vukar, for the question. I really believe the question you asked it's being in the mind in many of our participants today. But again, I can only refer to the official presentation and the guidelines of the call for proposals within cultural and cross-innovation projects of EU4Culture. So, which means the guidelines have been published and communicated, and within this very call, we cannot change this. I totally understand your support and your concerns to motivate the individuals so that they are participating, and we are very happy to have them. But this call aims at legal entities, and one of our idea is to strengthen independent NGO sector in participating cities. But again, we didn't exclude the competitive NGOs from the other cities. So that's why, as well as Anna and Rusudan, they said already many times, any NGO registered in one of the 5 countries of the Eastern Partnership is already eligible. There is another criteria. It's just you should demonstrate, or this NGO should demonstrate that there were certain operational activity of this NGO in this city. Why? Because again, as I said in my speech, we have some strategies of regional cities, and we would like that your projects wouldn't be like totally and fragmented, isolated initiatives, but they should be linked to the strategy. That's why there is a mutual assumption that the applicant has already certain experience in the city. So which means you know the local landscape, you know what are the concerns of the municipality or of the city, who are the main stakeholders. So which means we automatically assume that you know something. But answering your question directly, I can only highly motivate the representatives of the private sector, craftsmen, or other people to unite in this or another way to already maybe existing NGOs or associations or umbrella organizations within the city directly or within the municipality, so that they might be the part of the bigger team. So that might be the solution, what I suggest. Yeah.
Another question, another question is regarding the cross-sectoral projects. So we have the projects in mind that incorporating tourism and culture in one digital solution. For instance, tourism culture map of the Sheki, the digital format. Can we suggest this kind of projects through a kind of NGO? With the NGO line, is it possible?
Definitely, as long as once again the content related criteria, as we said, is the linkage with the city CDS, and yes, it's cross-sectoral cooperation. In this case, it's digitalization, definitely. So,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks to you. I see that Olya Borisenko is waiting for quite long to ask the question. Please, Olya, and then we will take probably 3 more questions, and yeah, we will start wrapping up a bit. Please, Olya, floor is yours. Olya, we cannot hear you. Yes, we cannot hear Olya. Unfortunately, you can also write your question in the question and answer tool, and if not today, we will definitely answer the question in the document that we will produce. Anna Marjanidze, please, the floor is yours now, because you've also been waiting for quite long. Thank you.
Hello, do you hear me? Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Was quite helpful indeed. I found out the details I was interested in, but I want to clarify some things. First of all, you mentioned the eligible cost, and there should be like the criteria of soundness. Should we somehow prove it with some information from public sources, invoices, etc., to prove the soundness of those costs, or you decided with your strategy and with your kind of methodology?
Thank you, Anna, for the question. Anatoly, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, and yeah, Anna, thank you very much for the question. The rules of EU4Culture, they're very simple. Basically, we should be compliant with the cost eligibility almost of any EU-funded project. And when it comes to the reporting and verification of the costs, so all the required documents must be provided. Basically, you are declaring already incurred costs, and then you should verify that this cost really incurred in form of invoices, in form of timesheets, in form of money flow, so proof of so bank statements and such kind of things. So which means our project does not differentiate from any other EU-funded projects in this sense. Again, we are following general cost eligibility rules.
Okay, thank you very much. And one more question, please, about double funding. You mentioned that it's forbidden, but I also saw in guidelines the phrase, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something about if the amount of the grant is not enough for certain activities, which are also supporting to the project. So for instance, I am planning to apply for the project to organize a festival, and festival requires several activities, from which some may be financed with the grant money and some should be like obtained from other sponsors. So in that case, it will be okay, right?
So
yes,
if I may, I would answer, Anna. Yeah, thank you very much for the question. It's also one of the common questions we receive. Indeed, one of the strictest rule is to avoid double financing of any kind. But what you said, I totally agree with you. When we talk about double funding, we are talking about double financing of one and the same action. For example, EU4Culture financed your one meeting or one mobility, and then for the same action or for the same mobility, you are receiving or have received funds from another donor. So this is absolute no-go. But on the other hand, it would be even a supplementary and as an advantage if you would demonstrate that like part of your activities may receive funds from other donors, so that you are supplementing other activities with other financing or with the sources. So again, double financing of one and the same action, it's totally prohibited. It's not allowed. However, the supplementary funding for parallel actions or supplementary activities or side actions, of course, they are allowed. And moreover, for us, it's one of the indicators for sustainability and durability of your project.
Yeah, so just to clarify once again, should I include all this information in advance, because you should know which activities will be financed with the grant and which ones will be financed with other support, because you know that to show you the whole picture of the project, I might need to describe all the activities. So wouldn't it be the extra info or something?
Yes, I mean the double funding story. It's very important for us to know that we have a transparent funding principles, and we can judge only based on the documents you submitted. So I would highly recommend, if you are intending to include other donors, that you clearly differentiate that, for example, these activities you are requesting for financing for this and this activities from EU4Culture, and other activities would be financed by another donor. So we are talking about transparency and objectivity, and I highly recommend you not to hide this information. It's for us and for you, so that we are on the safe side.
Yes, but for instance, in terms of funding, it's impossible to have the names of other donors in advance. So maybe I will just list the activities for which the other financial support will be later like researched, at least, like in case I will be given the grant at least.
Yes, exactly. So at the application stage, we don't need any, I'd say, verification documents that you received already the funds. We totally understand these might be only expectations of the planning, and the reality might be a little bit different. But still, at this stage, we would request the general information. What is your financial planning? So what do you expect from EU4Culture? And maybe you are considering other sources to finance other activities. So it's like a basic information, but still for us, it's important to understand and to be on the safe page that we avoid double funding of one and the same action.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, very much. And Hannah Hazova, the next one, and then we'll take two more questions and we'll wrap up. Anna, please.
Hello. Can you hear me? Sounds maybe a bit weird. a male voice to hear. My name is Stefan Kiener. I represent an organization from Germany, Dresden, and I cooperate very closely with Hanna Lasova from Ukraine in Odessa, from the Kandinsky Art Center. And we have, since the outbreak of the war, an intense cooperation in the field of arts. And we are searching now for opportunities in cooperation with other partners from this same field to cooperate, and thought about to bring exhibitions to Dresden. And we were thinking about if this fund could help us with this, because as we already cooperate quite close for 1 year more or less now, and search for options to intensify the cooperation and give chances to the artists from Ukraine in Odessa. We even evacuated arts from there in order to protect them, and would like to give now a chance to artists. And therefore we ask if there is somehow a possibility to cooperate with other cities from other countries to design an exhibition which is going on a journey to Dresden.
Thank you very much. So one thing I will say from my side, that technically organization registered outside the Eastern Partnership eligible countries is not eligible to apply. And then I would pass the word again to Anatoly. Maybe he can elaborate further on this question. Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you for the question. Basically, again, we should keep in mind that the main beneficiaries of the activities you are intending to implement should be the named cities, so the participants of our network. And if we are talking very precisely about Odessa, and if one of the scope of your project you might consider certain activities outside, like Ukraine or Odessa. For example, let us speculate. We are talking about cultural diplomacy, one of the important instruments we might consider right now, especially for Ukraine. So why not? But again, it's up to you to justify that and to demonstrate that the beneficiary of this activity, which might be implemented like outside this area, is definitely the city of Odessa and the people of Odessa, and of course the cultural and creative community of Odessa. So again, main beneficiary of your project should be the city. And I mean, by the city, we are talking about the people, community, cultural and creative community. Hopefully I answered your question.
Thank you very much, Anatoly. Thank you very much for your question. And now I will take the last question from Lud Reno. I hope I pronounce it at least close to the correct pronunciation. Please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello, Anna. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So first of all, thank you for your work and engagement. And my name is Lud Reno. I'm representing the One Caucasus Festival, held by an NGO recorded in Tbilisi. So the festival is taking place in Kfemokartli, especially in Marneuli. It's a cross-cultural festival with creative education and participatory architecture. We fit let's say, almost all the criteria of eligibility. Of course, we are not one of the named city. And my question is that as a part of the festival, or the festival format can be adapted in any multicultural, I would say, region of Georgia, could we apply? We would like to apply, but we don't know any entity in the named city. So in this case, how can we help? Because we would like to participate, we would like to implement a part of our initiative in a named city, but we don't know any entity in those named city. Is it possible to try something until the 25th of July?
Thank you very much for your question. So I think it's about establishing connections with the entities active in these 3 selected EU4Culture cities in this case. I would encourage you to use, first of all, this opportunity of the poll that we have been running, because I believe there might be also some organizations from the selected cities, representatives of some organizations from selected cities, which would like to share their contact details through this survey. And for other possible options, possible ideas, I don't know, Anatoly and Rusudan, would you like to add anything to this question?
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Thank you for the question, Ludor. Hopefully I pronounce your name correctly.
It's Lud, it's okay.
Lud, okay. Yes. Yeah, I mean, your question is really legitimate and it's a very important one. I do not have a universal remedy how to cure, I'd say, the situation. But as far as I can recommend, the situation is very maybe simple. Just go to the city, talk to the people. Please understand us correctly. The global aim of EU4Culture is to strengthen the regions. And you're living in Tbilisi. I'm happy. Maybe we have an opportunity to learn you in person. But it wouldn't be a secret for you that there is a great gap between capital areas and the regional cities. So, which means one of the ambitious and strategic goal of EU4Culture is strengthen the regions through working. So right now, exactly in this program stage, we are working with already selected regional cities. So I highly motivate you, maybe first consider what might be geographical area. So in our case, in case of Georgia, we are talking about Kutaisi, Azugdidi, or Poti. And it's up to you to identify what might be more appropriate location for you. Then I can highly recommend you to visit the city to learn cultural and creative community in the city. Also to get acquainted, of course, with the strategy, which were prepared by the cities, and then, think about the implementation approaches. Sorry, maybe for confusing. I do not have a universal answer, but it's a maybe a long way to go. But this is what we are targeting at. strengthening regional cities.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
you very much, Anatoly. Maybe to add, as mentioned before, one of the good tools for establishing contacts would be this Facebook group, and you can see the QR code now on your screens. So this would be one of the advices from our side. Regarding, there was also the question, what do we mean under the legal record of operational activities in the selected cities? So within 2 years to the deadline. So basically what is meant here, and I would like to ask Rusudan to correct me if there is anything to add to this answer. Basically what we mean that the organizations that apply has to have the history, the experience of working and implementing actions in one of these selected cities. So please, Rusudan, if you would like to add something to this answer, or.
Thank you, Anna. So your answer is right and correct. However, I would like to add from my side that we are understanding the implemented activities in one of the EU4Culture Cities Network. And in the application form, you will find this section where you have to provide the links or the narrative part about the implemented activities. However, the project, and if it will be necessary, the project reserves the right to verify the accuracy of the information based on supporting documents. And it might be like signed contracts or invoices from these cities or hired persons. But at the first stage, we are not asking to provide this kind of supporting documentation. But if necessary, we reserve the right to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Rusudan. Now I would like to thank you all for participation, for being active. We would end this Q&A session, but we would encourage you to take 5 more minutes and write your questions in the Q&A toolbox. In the Q&A toolbox. So we will review once again all these questions. We will collect all the questions that were asked during this session, and the document with this question and answers will be published on GEP portal as well as on EU Neighbors East channel. So you will have the access to this information. I hope we will receive really interesting and exciting applications. I'm sure we will. And we're looking forward to it, and we also look forward to our future cooperation. In the meantime, we will run now another poll, which we would like to ask you to complete. This is an anonymous poll, and this is basically the evaluation of the session we were having today. So poll is there now. Please anonymously evaluate how, in your opinion, did the session go. So thank you very much once again, and looking forward to receiving your applications. Thank you.